everyone. Thank you so much for joining in. We're going to talk about having the ability to invest. And we've been going through a series over the last 4 weeks with different types of abilities you need in order to be a good investor. And it doesn't just mean in money, that could also be in real estate, in friends, in careers, businesses. So the ability to invest basically is really the difference between being a poor person or a rich person. When I first got that concept, I'm like, wow, that's a pretty important ability. So we're going to hand out a PDF at the end of the call. So if you'd like that, go ahead and type the word invest in the comment section. And also, if you're watching this live, just type in live. And if you're watching this as a replay, just type in replay. We would sincerely appreciate that. So again, the ability to invest is the difference between being poor or being rich. And so when you're looking at investing, the real question is, who or what did you invest in? Because you have to work really, really smart when it comes to having that ability to having the ability to investigate, which is something I talked about 2 weeks ago, and also having the ability to focus and put your attention where you want it. So when you're investigating, again, it goes back to investigating, being really, really curious, which is a natural ability. That is, if you look at a baby, they're very naturally curious. And it also has you have the ability to focus, to be laser focused on what you're going for. And even in the worst of times, there's one thing I really want to make clear. Even in the worst of times, there's still a lot of positive, and there's still a lot of things to positively invest in. And so one of the things that I have noticed in myself and that I've also seen other people do is they get so invested in something and they actually become that thing. Like when I worked in the insurance industry for 19 years, I really had a want to climb that corporate ladder, and I had a specific position I was going for. But when I got that position, I also know that I actually kind of became that, if you will. Nothing wrong with that as long as you're in control of it, right? Because there's more to than that position and that job. But a lot of times people become the investment, the place where they've invested all their time, all their money, and themselves in. So that's one point that you would always want to be aware of. The other thing is, and I've seen this, it's very painful to watch when I see people do this. Very, very able people are able to, when they start to lose in an investment, and again, we're talking about finances, right? A great investment, but it could also be in people. It could also be a job. It could also be a place. Very able people are able to cut their losses, move forward, and get into a different game, a more winning game, another investment that's going to give them the returns that they want. But unable people will write it all out, go all the way up, and it's a really great time to sell. But no. It's like they can't have the win. They can't have that space of being able to get out at that point. And then they go all the way back down, then they go all the way back up. And it's back and forth. When really, a lot of times, it's a great place to sell or a great place to cut the loss. And again, go somewhere else and make the investment and start getting the return. So that is an ability. Another ability that is crucial, and this is easier said than done. So the ability to be wrong, that is an ability, okay? And it's an ability, just know that. And there's another ability that comes in here that I love, because when I had this realization that, oh, this is an ability, I was like, wow, thank goodness I'm not from Mars. But it is an ability to make money. It's not some magical pie in the sky woo-woo thing. It is an ability to make money. So if you don't have that ability, the great thing about that is you can get the ability. So just know that being able to make money is an ability. So the second piece of this is, I can't stress to you enough how important it is to be able to be wrong. And it's not a big deal to be wrong, because when you're wrong, you can find out what you didn't know, and then you can get better the next time. But if you don't have the ability to be wrong, it locks you up and prevents you from getting the knowledge that you need and being able to perceive the things that you were doing right, so that you can do more of what you were doing right, more of those successful actions, and accomplishing what you really, really want to do. So one last thing on the ability to invest. And this is something I learned from Alan early on when I started out in this position. So if you've got something in one of your investments or something in the money area, and you're not able to talk about it, that's a big red flag, okay? So the first sign that you've got that shows up as a problem is if you've got a bad investment, or there's something in that area that you can't talk about. Just know that you need to investigate that, and you need to open that area up. You need to inspect it. And every time I've run into anybody in the personal development area and their investments come up, and maybe they're not doing too well, but they really don't want to talk about it, you need to inspect, and you need to probe more, and you need to talk about it. And the neat thing about talking about it, especially to others, is you find out other people's viewpoints. And by finding out other people's viewpoints, you get, a lot of times you find right answers, and you find steps that you missed, or you find the next steps that you need to take, which is great, man. You don't have to go hire somebody. You don't have to sit in the unknowns, and you don't have to sit being stopped, not able to move forward. So if you're not able to talk about things you've invested in, again, it could be a business, it could be a person, it could be people, it could be the location, it could be the career you chose, it could be choosing the wrong business, choosing the wrong stock, maybe buying the wrong house. It's okay. Looking at it and seeing the mistakes that were made, and then the good decisions that were made, can help you make the right decision going forward, so that you can start to get a return on your investment. So the ability to invest is a key ability. The ability to make money, it's not a magical formula. It is an ability. And then that ability to be wrong is where the learning comes in. And being able to allow yourself to make mistakes, you'll find right answers and get a faster return on your investment.